Hey, are you talking about back in the day?
Nah, man. I'm talking about back in the day.
Back in the day. Back in the day. Back in the day. Back in the day.
Today on the Back in the Day podcast is the hilarious Rafael Sanguily. How are you, man?
What's up, man? I'm doing good, bro. Thanks for having me, dude.
I know, long time no see. I haven't seen you in a couple months. No. I saw you last month.
Yeah, bro. We did your show, dude.
You know, it all blends together.
That's cool, bro. Yeah.
Hey, I have a question for you, Anthony.
What's up?
How often you get your hair cut?
Like twice a month.
No. I don't think I've ever seen you where it doesn't look like you just got your hair cut.
Dude,
like,
it's
it's the smoothest haircut in the Dallas comedy scene.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that, bro. It's trying to hide the thinning is what I'm doing. That's all I'm just trying to do.
It's like every time I see, I'm like, this dude just got back from the barbershop.
It's just pure paranoia. People realizing how fucking old I'm getting, bro.
No,
this is
dude,
happening.
It looks good, man. It's like
Thanks,
it's good.
man.
It's smooth. Everything like that. Like that's for sure. Your calling card.
Thank you, bro.
Right?
Well, shout out to my barber, Ali Arona. What's up? If you guys want to check him out in Prosper, in the streets of Prosper.
Oh, he's in Prosper?
He's in Prosper out there repping the P.
I gotta hit him up.
What the fuck do they call Prosper now? I don't even know.
I live in. I just hit him up.
Let me tell you, it's a dope ass spot. It's right. You know where the Hobby Lobby's at in
Yes.
Prosper? Literally in the salon suites next door to there. That's the spot right there. And he's a kick ass barber, bro. He's a real cool dude.
Maybe I went to him because I looked up a barber because my barber was too far and I wasn't going to the office that day and I needed a haircut really bad, so I just went to some random person and it was at that spot. So it might have been him. I don't know because there's a bunch of different people in there.
Does he have is he a Mexican dude with like a beard?
Oh no, he's a black guy.
Oh no, yeah.
I'll have to hit Ali. I'll hit him.
Hit up Ali, bro.
Yeah,
he's cool peeps.
Hey, because I mean your haircuts look like they're on point every single day. Right?
All to him.
Yeah.
All to him.
Dude, how's everything going, man? I've seen you've been going up a lot. We were just talking before this that you got South by Southwest coming up.
Yeah.
Everything like that. Still touring with Alex?
Yeah, dude. I mean, as much as I can, bro. It's hard. I have a day, like an actual full-time, like a business and stuff I'm running and all that. And then, so it's just challenging just to, I wish I could get out more than I do. But yeah, he's just been a good friend, man, and a good mentor. And he's just been super cool, bro. And it's just something I've learned a lot. I feel like he's kind of given me a lot of the inside game that I think it takes a while to learn.
Yeah.
And so all like the insight and stuff he's given me has been amazing, bro. The dude's just a great guy, man.
Did you, how did that happen? I said his first name, but Rafael tours with Alex Raimundo, one of the original Latin Kings of Comedy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. How did that whole relationship happen?
Dude, so actually, George Red Speaks, a good friend of mine, man. He actually put a whole tour together for Alex initially, like through West Texas. He's been in the alcohol game for a while, and he knows how to sell liquor and radio and stuff. And George is great for producing shows and a businessman. And he's a great comic too. But he's been around the entertainment industry for so long. He really knows like how to do this and how to speak that language, right? So when he talked to Alex, because Alex and Ron White own a tequila company called Number One Tequila. So he says, hey, if we can get this tequila into these clubs, we can kind of do this play or like smaller rooms or smaller bars, introduce it, and then we'll have fucking Alex Raimundo's pretty huge comic come in and do a show just for them buying the tequila. So it ended up being a really good deal, and it got Alex back on the road again and doing all that, and kind of he's tuning up to do a whole bunch of stuff he's got going on later for him. So it kind of worked out, and then George was like, hey, we need to bring somebody to just help us set up. And then he's like, look, man, I know this is, not really your jam, but if you want to just come and just kind of be a roadie and just help us out, we can maybe give you guest spots here and there when we can. I was like, dude, it's cool just to be on the bus with this guy and,
sure.
learn and be around a dude like that. I'm like, of course, bro. You don't even pay me. I don't even care, just do it for free. But, he ended up paying me, and we were just all hanging out and talking and being on the bus. Alex had a chance to see my set a couple times, and he's like, he kind of gave me some pointers, gave me little tips here and there. And then we just became friends, bro. Just that whole trip together. We were, remember the snowpocalypse, the first one that went through?
Yeah, last year, right?
Dude, we were on this bus, bro, in the middle of West Texas, going like during the middle of the snowstorm. This is the first time he's actually taken the bus out. This is like the maiden voyage of this bus, bro. And the bus has a heater that's broken in the bus. So we're like freezing our asses off in this bus, dude, all right? But we're going through these towns, man, and it got real sketch. Dude, we were in Odessa at this little it's like one of those motels on the side of the road called Elegante. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
it looks real fancy.
It looks nice, but when you get into it,
you don't know if it's
like,
a strip club or a hotel or what's going on from the outside.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then so we were we had the show in this place, which is a cool spot. It's random what it actually is.
What spot was it?
It's a hotel. It's called
Oh, it was in It was in Odessa. Was it the hotel?
Yeah, it was in this hotel in Odessa.
Okay.
And then so we're doing the show in there. It's a pretty big, dude. We had like 150 people show up. It was a really good sized show for this hotel, you know, randomly put together. And then, dude, we're leaving out of there, and that's when the snow really starts coming down. And now we have a choice. Like, dude, do we risk it and drive through this crazy ass snow and like try to get home? And I'm like, dude, if we don't, we might be stuck here for God knows how long, you know? So we start braving it, dude, and we start going on the freeways. We're going up. The bus starts sliding, dude. That shit starts getting sketch. And then we see a truck try to come up next to us, and it's a truck. This guy's like, he's got like 25s on his truck, though. You know what I mean? Low profile 25s in the snow. And this guy comes up, bro, and starts whipping out and sliding. He slides off the fucking off ramp. And so we're like, dude, this is like right in front of the bus, bro. So, dude, we start driving through this shit. Alex is like, fuck it, bro. He just takes this thing off, and, dude, we miraculously make it home safely. Thank God no incidents happened. We did all of our shows.
Did he drive the bus?
He drove the... Dude, Alex is true Mexican. Okay, and I say that with all the respect in the world because the motherfucker works, bro. He built most of the bus himself. He did most of the work. All of his shows, he goes up, and he's like, a tool belt gets off. He sets up the whole room himself, bro. Like, he sets up everything. He knows how to do the mics. He knows how to do everything. Because he used to run the old school Hyenas before it was Hyenas, bro.
Oh, in Arlington?
Yeah, he used to be a bartender there. That's how he met Ron White. So then, anyway, so he kind of knows the whole setup. But he also just likes, he's just a dude. He works on his own farm. He's got a horse farm. He works the farm. He does everything himself. Which is kind of like that mindset of, I understand like why it made him so successful. That mindset of
it's a grind of like, I'm constantly doing stuff.
And knowing, dude, I can do this. You know, I'll learn it and I can do it and I can figure it out and then really, you know, really doing it. But yeah, that whole trip was crazy, bro. He built that whole thing himself. He still does a lot of that stuff himself. He's working on the bus today. I just called him today. He was, because we have a show tomorrow in Tulsa, and he's like, fuck, man, I'm working on the carburetor or some other thing on the bus. I'm like, what the hell are you? You're a
just hire somebody,
fucking,
right?
Yeah, dude. You're like a super famous comedian, bro. What are you doing?
Were y'all doing rooms in the West Texas, the Michael Shields rooms? Yeah,
Michael Shields was hooking us up. Shout out to Michael Shields. He's a super cool cat. And those rooms were awesome, man. And we met a lot of good guys. John Reynolds out there. A lot of good comics out in West Texas that are doing their thing, man. And it was just really cool, bro. It was a good experience overall. I've never been on a bus or been on, you know, really done like a real tour like that or anything. So
yeah, most people haven't.
Yeah, it was just
a cool experience.
It was super cool experience, man. Super cool.
So, okay. So you are originally from California, correct?
I'm from LA originally, yeah.
LA, lived there. That's where you grew up.
Born and raised out there, yeah.
And then you moved out here. How old were you when you moved to Dallas?
About 5 years ago.
5 years ago?
Yeah, about 5 years ago. I came out. I had a crazy breakup with a psycho ex-girlfriend, and then I left out of there, kind of came over here, just kind of thinking like, that's it, man. You know, fuck chicks kind of attitude. You know what I mean? Like,
Dallas is all dudes. Like,
yeah, dude, yeah, right? And then but I get over there, man. And dude, it was crazy, bro. I'm out here, and I was just kind of in my mind thinking the whole time, like, I tried comedy a couple times in LA and I fell in love with it. I'll give you guys a crazy story one day about like what happened, how I started and stopped comedy.
Okay.
In LA. And then it was always in the back of my mind. And so when I came out here, I was thinking like, man, I want to try, you know, just give it a shot again. And I looked up like open mics, you know, in Dallas, and I found Fort Worth Hyenas had an open mic. And I went there and did it. And I didn't realize at the time Randy's brother was doing kind of like a vetting process to see whoever had like the best set of the night, he'll give him a guest spot.
Okay.
So I was like, you know what? I'll just go check it out, see what's up, dude. And then I go out there and I did it. And I guess I did pretty good, you know? And then he was like, hey, man, you won tonight. And I was like, won what? You know what I mean? Like, and he's like, you know, open up for J.R. Brow at his show coming up. And dude, it was just, that's kind of it. I'm like, maybe I should be doing this, dude. You know?
Yeah, that's cool, man.
Yeah.
So like out in LA, you said like you kind of try to do comedy. Okay. I think it's funny, like most comics growing up, they're either like the quiet kid or they were the class clown. Which one were you? I was
pretty much the class clown, man. I was like, I mean, I was a pretty good student. I've always been kind of like a respectful person. I've never been like an attack comic, like, or you know what I mean? It's just, I've kind of like making my friends laugh, man. That's my social coping skill, I guess, you know?
Yeah.
And then I've always everyone's always told me to do it, but I'm like, yeah, I'm not a fucking comedian, you know what I mean? Like in my mind, I'm thinking like I'm just a dude, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like I'm not like a business guy. I'm trying to make money for my family. I had a lot of crazy things happen, man. My mom died when I was very young. And I had to kind of raise my brother and my sister on my own for a little while. So I was always kind of like hustling, trying to make money, trying to figure out what I have to do. So thoughts like trying comedy and doing different stuff at a young age just wasn't even a reality for me, man.
Yeah, it wasn't an option.
It wasn't even an option. Yeah, it was crazy.
Not following your dreams. You're grinding, trying to figure something out.
I'm trying to figure out how to pay the light bill next month.
Yeah.
Even learning how to pay bills was a humongous challenge. And then so anyway, so when I like years later, I'm at a bar with my friend. Like we're ready to go to Lake Havasu, which is it's a big lake in the borderline of Arizona and California. We went out the next day, so me and my friend are just getting shitty at this bar. And then some guy starts setting up a microphone. I'm thinking like, oh damn, they're gonna play some music or something, you know? And this guy starts doing jokes, and it's terrible, bro. It's like horrible jokes. And he's like, all right, we're gonna
like most open mics.
Yeah, you know what I mean? He's like, we're gonna get the open mic going, guys. So if anybody thinks you're funny, you know, come up here and sign up. My buddy's like, bro, look, I'll bet you $40 that you won't go up there and do that shit. And I was like, $40, bro? And he's like, come on, dude, you're at least that bad. You know what I mean? He's like,
come on, dude, like that guy's terrible.
Like, come on.
Actually, well, $50, like right.
I'm like, fuck it, I'll do it. I'll take your money. You know what I mean? Whatever, right? So I thought it was gonna be a gag, and I went up there. I had nothing prepared, obviously, nothing ready, right? I told this story about it's a true story about me shitting my pants in a Target, which if you know me, is like funny because there's context and you know me,
exactly.
right? If not, I'm just this dude who shit his pants in public, and then
Now
people are like weird.
Yeah,
I'm just
you got
weird
kind of problems. Why is this guy up here trying to enjoy a nice night with my
medical
girlfriend?
Condition? Should we call somebody? So then, dude, I was up there and whatever. It was bombing. I mean, obviously, your first time up, everyone bombs.
Yeah.
Did I get off stage and the guy that's running the mic was like, "Man, is that your first time ever doing comedy, dude?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Well, it's not the worst I've ever heard." He's like, he goes, "But look, man, here's how you write a joke." And he gave me a couple pointers, and he's like, "Come back." And dude, I mean,
you know, here's the thing. You know, you said like everyone bombs their first time. I think okay. I don't think everyone bombs their first time. I think they actually do somewhat decent if they continue to do comedy. Because if you didn't do somewhat decent, why the hell would you put yourself through that again?
You know what it was for me, dude? It was like, it was a weird thing. I'm sure everyone gets this experience, right? Like when I was up there, I clearly can see that nobody was laughing at my crazy story, and it was kind of feeling like it was going too long. And then so when I'm up there, I was kind of hammered. I mean, because most people are when they first do this, right? Dude, I remember feeling bone sober when I walked off stage. I remember sweating, shaking. I felt like I jumped out of a plane. You know what I mean? And something hit me. Like I just realized, like, dude, that was cool. You know what I mean? Even though like nobody laughed and it was a death fucking story, it just felt like man, it just felt right. I don't know if that makes any sense.
I get what you mean, because you were just like, it was a challenge. It wasn't something you were used to doing.
For sure.
And that adrenaline is crazy. The high that you get from doing any type of performance is insane.
For sure.
Especially just like I call it like it's almost like a power that you're having, right? You're standing on stage. People are having to listen to you. Even if they aren't laughing or whatever, it's like, for this 5 minutes, this 10 minutes, I have the power. If you're good, if you're controlling the room,
sure,
you have this like power over these people for 5 to 10 minutes, 15, 20, however long you're on stage.
Yeah, man. It just felt, I mean, like before this, I've done like keynote speeches and, you know, stuff like that for work type things, but never like, you know, trying to actually entertain people, which I realized, man, totally different.
Yeah.
Totally different skill sets. But anyway, I came back, dude. I did a couple more like open mics, and dude, I just really liked it. And the dude that was running the mic, he actually throws a show at the Comedy Store in Hollywood. I think I told you this story. Yeah. And then, dude, so he goes and he tells me, he's like, "Hey, bro, why don't you come through and I'll get you in the belly room at the Comedy Store." So I think I've been in the Comedy Store at this point like once before. Mm-hmm. So I'm thinking the belly room. All right, bro. Yeah, it's probably someplace down the street.
Yeah, like
it's like called
yeah. You know what I mean? It's this comedy store, like, you know, the store that's comedy, like it's a play on words.
Yeah, it's like a magic shop or some shit. You know what I mean? I'm thinking like whatever, dude.
It's a comic book store.
Yeah,
or whatever.
I'm thinking like whoopee cushions and fucking slippery bananas. You know. And then so, dude, I whenever I go there, I'm thinking, all right. But as I'm pulling up to the spot, I was like, holy shit, dude, this is like the real place. Like this is really happening right now. And immediately I started having a minor panic attack.
Yeah, no shit.
Like,
no shit. Like right? You're
like, what am I doing
third time?
Third time ever on stage, bro. Yeah. So I'm walking through this thing and I'm seeing everybody who's like your heroes, dude. I'm seeing like Joe Rogan's right there in the hallway. There's like Bill Burr's over there standing in the corner. Like all these dudes.
Yeah, because you know what's funny about that? So I remember when I went and did shows, or not shows, I went and hung out in LA and like watched shows.
Yeah.
And it's like the same thing as Dallas. When you go and when you do your weekend at a club in Dallas, all the local comics, not all of them, but there's 15 local comics that are just hanging out there.
Yeah.
They're not on the show. They're just hanging out, right?
Yeah.
What's the same thing in LA, except for those guys are on television.
Yeah, dude.
You know, like it's like,
what I mean?
You know,
like it was crazy, bro. I'm like passing all these dudes. I'm like, what the fuck? And dude, I started realizing it's like starting to hit like what's really going down here. And I'm thinking, okay, it's the belly. They showed me like where the belly room's upstairs. I'm thinking like, all right, dude, please let there be only like new guys.
You're thinking it's like an up-and-comer showcase,
sure, right?
Or is open mic type thing.
Fucking no way, bro. The first guy they called to the stage was Jeff Ross. Okay, and he just destroys this room, preparing for the Bieber roast. All right, he just kills this room. Then the next guy that goes up is Neil Brennan.
Oh,
Bro, and he just destroys even harder. He just make everyone's like crying, laughing, like, oh my God. And then they call my name, bro. And the guy fucked up my name too. He's like, oh, we have another Rafael Sanguily, something like that. Right? Yeah, and I'm sitting there like
new guy,
bro. I was sitting there like I don't want to do this. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't want to go up there, bro. I was so scared.
You should have left,
dude. I had like 2 shots right there, and then my girlfriend shot it. I was like my fiance at the time. I went and drank all of our shots, and I'm like, fuck it, let's just do this. I go up there, man, and my dude, talk about 5 minutes of pure death. Like it was just all my shitty, like 3rd time ever on stage jokes,
yes.
Orange chicken, you know, like stupid shit, dude. And then so I get off stage, bro, and I'm getting smiles and nods, just sympathy smiles and nods, right? I'm walking off the stage, bro. I look like I jumped out of a pool, like I'm completely drenched in sweat. I go and I sit down next to my girlfriend, and the first thing she says out of her mouth was, "I saw you checking out that bitch in the 4th row."
Of course, right?
Of course, dude. And I was like, fuck, man. And I'm like, how'd you know? You know what I'm saying? Like, no, but I was thinking like, dude, I mean, it was crazy, bro. Like, you can't see in there. And then we get into this crazy.
And do you see me right now? Like I just had a panic attack in front of all these people. I'm not hitting on some girl on stage.
Do you think them girl wants to fucking talk to the guy? They had no laughs on stage, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get the fuck out of here, you know? So like, dude, so anyway, we get into this crazy fight about it, whatever. And I'm thinking like, man, that's it. I basically climbed Everest. I thought I did it. Like that was, you know, I hit the pinnacle of my comedy career. Like I'm like, it's not worth fighting with this girl about. I'm gonna marry this chick. She's obviously crazy, whatever. And then so, dude, whatever. 3 years pass.
Hold on. You said the fight got crazy. Can we talk about the? Are you willing to talk about the fight?
Man, for sure.
So how? Like, what happened with the fight after that? Like, is it one of those things where you just like kind of explain like, look, there are lights in my face. I can't see anything. I'm having a nervous panic attack on stage, not hitting on any girl. And then she's like, okay, yeah, drops it, or did it continue?
No, man. She said, no, dude. This is a totally toxic, crazy relationship, bro. She was like, why are you fucking lying about it? Just admit it. And I'm like,
you got her number on stage.
I saw you were fucking her with your eyes. And I'm like, that's impossible, you know? And then so, dude, we were just like, this whole crazy situation was going on. It's turning into like, she's screaming at me. We're like yelling at each other in the Comedy Store while people are on stage. So I'm like, okay, we got to get the fuck out of here. You know, I just got
banned. I just got banned from the Comedy Store.
From the Comedy Store. So, dude, I leave out of there, whatever, and we're still fighting all the way to the car. Actually, I'll tell you a crazy story about the fight.
Okay.
So we're fighting all the way to the car. All the way in the car, we're like now it's like now we have the privacy in our own car. So now
things are getting out of control.
Now shit's getting.
Is she Latin too?
Yeah, she's
okay.
Yeah.
So that is a heat. Y'all both are just getting heated.
Well, yeah, it's getting crazy. But I'm kind of more just like upset. Like now I want to know who this girl is. You know what I'm saying?
Like,
so,
is she that hot? Does she like me? Do I need to go back?
Yeah, dude. So we're like totally fighting all crazy, and it's like gets to the point where like, okay, you need to get out of the car. Kind of a fight. Right. And so we're like in downtown LA. And if you guys are familiar with LA, this is like an area of LA where the Sears Tower's at. And it's like the Sears store. And it's really like a bad area. Right. Yeah. So, but I'm like, we're so mad. I'm just like, get the fuck out of the car, you know, kind of a thing. So I pull over and she's like, come on, I don't care. She's wearing like a little dress and everything. And she gets out of the car all with her heels and shit, like walking out, you know. And I start thinking like, okay, dude, if something happens to this girl, like I'm gonna feel bad.
And it's not just this girl, isn't she? Your fiance?
Yeah, you know. So like I can't. That's no way to explain
it's
this.
It's coming back on you.
100%. I'm gonna be a suspect.
Yeah.
So then like, so I get out of the car, and I'm thinking like, dude, okay, hey babe, come back. It's so cool. It's my bad. I shouldn't check that random girl out or whatever. I don't even know. I'm just like, you know, you just start owning it, dude.
She doesn't even mean that much to me. It was just one time, I swear. Like
I just looked at her. I can't. My eyes.
I mean, she was cute. I swear, but you know, like you're cuter.
I'll poke my eyes out. I don't care. And then so I'm walking down the street, and she's doing that thing that girls do when they're mad and they're like walking away from you, and she's like,
but they're making sure you're still there.
Yeah, but she's like looking on my shoulder, like fuck you, like fucking get away from me, fuck you. So then I'm like, okay, well, I'm just come on. This is me literally falling behind her, like this. Imagine how this must have looked for people on the street. Like she's like, get the fuck away from me. And I'm like, come on, babe. Come on.
She means nothing to me.
Yeah. And then so, dude, this car pulls up. This car pulls up next to and like pulls up, and it's just like old school veterana chola, like girl driving, like, you know. And then some dude who I swear, bro, I know I'm not trying to be stereotypical or anything, but he looked like a chihuahua turned into a human man. Like he just looked this little dude who was like shaking in the seat next to her, dude. And then his eyes were like looking for like help. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, so they pulled up on the car and like they rolled on the window and she's like, "Hey girl, hey, I'll help you. Come on. I saw what he did to you. I saw what he did." And I was like, "You saw what I did? What did I do?" And he's like, "You hit her, fucker. I saw it. I'll tell the cops everything. I tell them I saw you hit her. Come on." And dude, it was so ridiculous. This whole situation that we both started to kind of laugh, you know? Yeah. It's like the only thing that broke this toxic fight was this girl that was actively trying to get me arrested and was willing to testify that she saw me hit this girl.
It turns out that was the girl from the fourth row, right?
It turns out that was her. She made her way back.
She's like, "I love your jokes." Like, you're just like,
I can't have them.
Dude,
you know?
I had a not that bad of a fight like that, but the side of the road type thing when I was dating this girl. Long time ago. So this girl I was dating, her mom hated me, right?
Yeah.
And so me and the girl had gotten in some kind of fight. I don't know what it was. And we went to Walmart. And so I ran in to go get the Walmart. She stayed on the phone. And so she's talking to her mom on the phone, but it's on speakerphone.
Yeah.
Right? When I get into the car, she's like, just leave his ass there. Or whatever. Just leave his ass there, right? And I was like,
the mom's still
yeah,
there?
the mom's telling her that I can hear it. I go, and I'm like, I can hear you, like, or whatever. Or I was like, fine, leave. I'll walk back to my apartment. I don't care. It's not that far. It's like a mile and a half. I was like, I'm good. You can leave me here. Go back to your apartment. I'll go to my apartment.
Yeah.
Right. So I was like, and so she's like, starts just crying. She's like,
"Oh my God.
No, please come back," or whatever. So I'm walking on the side of the road, you know, just minding my. I'm not walking fast. I'm just walking, and she's in her car next to me, going,
"Oh my God,
3 miles! Please get back in the car, please, please!" Like, you know, just like get back in the car. And as that's happening, a cop just pulls up.
Oh no!
Cop pulls up. I mean, we're not doing it. No, it's like,
of course, 5
o'clock in the afternoon. It's not a big deal. Of course. What does that look like? She's screaming like, "Please come back to me." Whatever. It's like, "Is everything okay?" He's like, "Do you have ID?" It's like, "I don't have ID." Or whatever. I'm not driving. Like,
yeah.
He like asks me all these questions. What's going on? Hold on, we're gonna talk to her first. They talk to her, or whatever, and then he was like, "Do you have someone that can come pick you up?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'll call someone to come pick me up." But yeah, dude, those side of the road fights,
bro.
Man.
Those are wild. Man, you know what though, man? I think everyone needs to go through some shit like that. You know what I mean? And like at some point in your life, that's how you get like a badge. Like men need to go through that at some point, like a super crazy toxic relationship. And you know, if you haven't been through it, you might be going through it right now. Yeah. It's like, but it was like, so dude, so anyway, we get out of there, and I ended up breaking up with that girl a few years later. It just didn't work out, obviously. She was, you know, clearly not well. And then so, or maybe it was me. Fuck it, I don't know. I'll take the blame.
Could be both, you know.
Whatever.
You those didn't mix well together.
Did not mix, for sure.
You're trying to sleep with girls while you're on stage. No,
you know what I mean? Yeah, slanging dick on stage, bro. She didn't get it. So then, anyway, we get out of there, bro. I leave Texas. I leave California, and me and my brother at this time were already running a business together. We have a software. Actually, at the time, it was a marketing company. And so he's like, he needs the help. I'm thinking, man, I should just go over there anyway. We just, you know, whatever. So I come over, dude, and it was kind of like, again, that's how I started the comedy thing. And I met my girlfriend, actually. So I was like, again, it's one of those, it's my girlfriend now, my soon-to-be wife this year.
Nice, congratulations.
Thank you. And then so, you know, you're at that point where like the last thing I want is like another relationship, you know? And then, dude, it's like Halloween time. I had just, like, I'm a week here, dude. I had just got here, you know? And then my sister, she's like, "Hey, we're gonna go to the spot in Deep Ellum. It's actually down the street from here. What's that candy store that's the club?"
I'm not sure.
Truth and Alibi?
That's the one.
Truth and Alibi.
So she's like, "We're gonna go to this place. It's like a speakeasy behind a candy bar, or whatever. My friend's gonna meet us up there." And she's like, "I'm like, cool, whatever. Some friends coming through, whatever. I don't care." And then, dude, I swear to God, bro, it was like a fucking movie, man. Like I'm like in this plot, whatever, just kind of like trying to be cool, like like trying to hide my tears. I'm like, like, I don't even care. I don't even care about her. And then, so, dude, all of a sudden,
I'll fight with you in the street again, babe.
Yeah, dude. I'm texting her like, I didn't even fucking see her.
Yeah. She's right. Tell that girl she'll testify me. I'll do 2 to 5.
Whatever brings you back. And then, dude, so all of a sudden, man, I see these two girls like a fucking movie, bro. Like, club's packed. These two girls walk in, and the fucking seas like part, bro. Like, these two girls start walking in, and I'm like, who the fuck are these girls? You know what I'm saying? Like, and my sister's like, here's my friends. I was like, those are your friends?
Why did I move here
Why
earlier?
didn't you told me that? Yeah, I could have been here years ago. And then, dude, I met her friend, man. It was instant chemistry, man. And yeah, sure enough, we've been together since then, bro. It's been great.
Nice, dude.
Yeah.
Nice. So then you started doing comedy here. It went well for you. Okay. Out in California, growing up, how did you get into like marketing and everything like that?
Dude, so it's a long, complicated story, man. But basically, I used to remortgages. I used to run a mortgage bank back in California. I had my own bank, and I was in that for a little while. And then 2008 happened, and the world started to end, basically, for everybody, you know. And then I was like at like my lowest point, man. I was like just rationing tuna cans for the week, you know, kind of a thing. I was losing all my properties. I lost all my houses, everything. It was kind of bad. And then I ran into my high school friend's mom at the Albertsons. And she was in mortgage too. And dude, it was one of those situations where we both just saw each other and just started crying. Dude, we were just like, is that bad? It was just like, you know what I mean? Like I can kind of relate to like what people must have been feeling like sort of in the Great Depression, like just kind of like the pure, like you don't even know what to do next. And then she was telling me that her son started getting a job working at a technology company, just selling IT. And I'm like, look, I have a computer. You know what I mean? Like, I guess it's as much as I know about computers, dude. Yeah, it's I kind of use it, sort of. And then so, it just changed my life. That one little happenstance meeting in the Albertsons, and then she hooked me up with her. I met one of my best friends from high school. I haven't seen him since high school. We started talking, and I just fell in love with this technology company, what they were doing. And through that, bro, it was like a university. They taught me literally everything, man. I went through so much there. We ended up selling that business, and then we started. Built a university, like an online university for IT businesses to learn how to do marketing and sales and all that stuff. And so I got a chance to go all over the world and probably work with like 1,000 different companies, helping them set up their marketing and sales and train their sales guys and all this crazy stuff. And then so through that, just kind of seeing, really what it is really just messing up. Like I just fucked up so many times, you know what I mean? Until we realized like what actually works. That, we got out of there, we wrote a book, we ended up doing all kinds of other stuff. And then we got a job with Intel. So I left that consulting company and I started working with Intel. And Intel, I thought, man, well, these guys are gonna have their shit together for sure.
Yeah.
What a mistake, bro. They just thought like we're Intel, we make cool shit, so people should just want to buy it. And I'm like, dude, you have to explain.
You gotta market it. You gotta
you gotta
sell
have like
it.
a sheet, you have like a sales flyer or something they can give people. You know what I mean? And so they didn't have any of that shit. So we had to like make all that stuff. Because we had the experience to do it, we started realizing how the need for IT companies, just basic marketing and sales stuff. And we started an agency, man. That's kind of how it started from there. And we just grew it over time. And my brother's really kind of the one. This is all his baby and his brainchild and something he had that this was his idea, and he's grown it and built it to something amazing, man. I'm like super proud of my brother. He's my little brother, but it's kind of weird because he's my boss now. So it's like the dynamic has changed in the relationship, you know? No, but he's still my best friend, man. I love my brother. He's a good dude. And just seeing what he's done and what we've done with this company and, where we're at now, man, we're just super lucky, dude.
So y'all teach like software companies how to do marketing?
So we did that for a while, consulting and doing all that. But we actually had an agency. So we just started doing it for people. Like we started making videos. We made a video game for Trend Micro. You know Trend Micro? They're an antivirus company. We made a whole video game for them. We did all kinds of crazy stuff. And then from that, we started realizing most of these guys don't really like even have like a CRM or a software or anything. Like they don't know how to do like basic shit. So we built our own CRM to kind of track all that stuff. And then that is now what our primary business is. That's grown. And over the last 3 years, that's kind of taken over our whole business. We're doing some small marketing projects now, but all we do now is have this basic like marketing platform for IT companies.
And so are you selling that CRM to companies to use?
Yeah, it's called Glasshive, but we sell it to like IT companies because it already plugs into tools that they use. So we made it so it just makes it really easy. And that's kind of what we do now. We have a subscription business on that, and then we work with other bigger companies that like sell stuff through their partners, and then so we help them develop all their marketing and all that stuff.
Sweet, man. It's crazy like talking to comics that have like day jobs.
Yeah.
Right? Because I guess since you own your company, you don't have to worry about the fact that because some companies don't let you do in comedy.
No, dude. Well, I'll tell you a crazy story. So again, even though this is our business with my brother and everything, we took on some investment money to kind of get this thing rolling. And at the time when we were doing this, bro, like I was doing comedy and I was getting a little distracted and all this stuff. And not only that, it was also the fact that the comedy was getting really busy at a certain time. And I started doing more shows, and then the investors that we had were not down, like with me doing comedy. It just looked like they just thought it didn't look like we're a serious business.
Yeah.
You know? And then so I had to make a choice. So I kind of stopped comedy for like, I want to say like 7-8 months. And then even with that, like we made a decision. My brother was like, hey dude, you got to kind of choose. Like, what are we doing here? So I ended up leaving for a while. And I left that company for our company for like almost a year and a half. I worked for another software business they were kind of like it was really easy. I managed a whole territory. It was like fucking coolest, easiest job, bro, ever. You know? Yeah. And then I was able to work from home, make my own schedule. I had a travel expense account. It was crazy, man. So it was like, it's weird not having to use my own, like my own money.
Yeah, stuff, for sure.
And then so doing all this, it was cool. It helped me travel a little bit more with my comedy. And every city that I would go visit clients or do whatever, I would book a show
somewhere or whatever.
Yeah, and I would start booking shows at different places. And that kind of helped me a little bit more. And then eventually we got, the investors, everything came around, and I left that job and came back, and we've been growing this thing out. And it's been honestly like, this is the most balanced my life has ever been, ever. And it's weird. I'm 40 now. So I got started in comedy late, like 30, I was 35 when I kind of first jumped into this thing. But now knowing like comedy actually makes me better at my regular day job, gives me more passion to do my day job. And the things that I've learned in my day job actually helps me out with my comedy. It's kind of a weird, I don't know if that makes any sense.
No, I understand that completely, because I talk to people all the time, and like in my day job, I'm in sales. I manage a sales department, and I tell my salespeople all the time, I'm like, look, if you like, people are like, well, I'm just not passionate about this sales job. Like, how do I keep going? I'm like, well, do you have something that you're passionate about? And like, yeah, I want to do photography or whatever. I'm like, okay, well, use this job to fund your photography passion.
Yeah.
I said, because look, I said, you're talking to the person in the office that has an actual, like has a passion that I do. I do comedy, and I am able to do both. And the fact that I have a good job and a foundation, I can go do a show that's 2 hours away and break even. Yeah. It doesn't impact me. I can still put food on the table for my family. So you can do the same stuff. And then if the photography takes off and now you don't need this job anymore, then quit the job.
Yeah.
I said, but you want to use this job to fund what your passion is.
100%.
Because the money has to come in. It can't stop.
Bro, that's the thing. In comedy, your passion projects, very rarely do they really ever kind of like pay enough to like live a sustainable lifestyle. It's hard,
exactly.
Man. Like even big time headline comics that travel the whole country, a lot of those guys are struggling. You know what I mean? Just regular. It is what it is, man. Until you really get one of those big deals, until you get like Netflix calling you up, it's hard to like, you're not really balling out. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And so that's what I keep telling them. I was like, and it made me a better comic, because now I'm not stressed about, I got to book this gig. This has to happen. It's like, if I get it, I get it.
You're just having fun, man.
Yeah.
It's just fun.
And like you said, then when I have a day job, now I'm a better writer because I'm experiencing real life.
Yeah.
Right. That you don't experience at like, okay, I have this waiter job. I mean, no disrespect to anyone that's doing that, but like the stress that you have with that day job and everything like that, it makes you experience what other people are going through, so it makes you way more relatable.
For sure. Especially in sales, dude. Especially in sales. If you can make people laugh in a sales engagement, you know what I mean, and you're trying to sell them stuff, like you got it, bro. That's it.
Exactly. Right. And just that confident to talk to people and be able to like carry a conversation for 20 minutes, you know what I mean, and have people listen to you, what you have to say. It all kind of correlates with each other.
It's great, man. I tell if anybody's out there in sales, I tell every one of them, go do an open mic at least once in your life.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario, you'll have a story you can tell forever. Mm-hmm. You know, it doesn't cost you anything, and maybe you like it, maybe you love it.
Yeah, or that's now your icebreaker, right? Yeah. Like you said, it's the story that you tell. Like, yeah, this one time I did comedy. Oh my god, it was so terrible. I almost peed my pants or whatever, and that makes people laugh because you're making fun of yourself. It makes you relatable, whatever, right?
For sure.
It's whatever it is that you can do. Especially, in sales, it's all about just being a human being,
just being normal, dude.
Yeah,
just being cool people.
So
Getting to like you.
I tell people all the time when I'm training them, I'm like, dude, just be honest with people.
Yeah.
They're like, well, you don't ever try. No, I just tell them the truth. Sometimes I tell people when I'm trying to close the deal exactly how much money I'm going to make.
Yeah, dude.
So I'm going to make this much money on this deal. I'm not bullshitting you. I'm not trying to get you to do anything so I can make extra money. I'm letting you know exactly how much the property is going to pay me. That's why I can't do X, Y, and Z for you, because that's how much money there is. Man, you tell them all that? Yeah. Of course I do.
Of course. What do they think? It's a surprise you're making money in sales?
Or it's not even that it's because I want them to know that it's like, I'm not trying to pull the wool over your eyes. Like, it is what it is. I want you to know what it is, that I'm being honest and I'm telling you the truth, because the salespeople that lie, they don't make any money.
Bro, and plus you're already setting a bad precedent, man. Like if you're in sales and you're lying to get the sale, dude, people, the shitty part is eventually people will find out.
Of course.
And then once they do, like your credibility's ruined, man.
Yeah.
Like you can never recover from that, dude.
Well, and you're not worried about that one transaction. You're worried about the next 25 with them. That's what you're hoping.
100%, dude. And not that, I mean, and on top of that, just it's like if you're having to lie to people to sell them something, dude, then maybe you fucking figured something else out. You know what to do with your life, bro. Like,
we had this. So what I do is that my company, we find people apartments. Okay, is what we do, and we do all over Texas, right?
Yeah.
And we had this guy. He doesn't work for our company anymore, thank God. But I was sitting there and I was working with him, and I heard him talking to a customer, and I could tell the customer was asking him where he lived.
Yeah.
And he goes, because the customer was like looking in Houston or something, and he goes, "Ah, yeah, man, I guess I got spots in Dallas, and I got a spot in San Antonio, and I got a spot in Houston, and I got a spot in Austin. That way I can know the areas real well.
What?
I live all over. I got a place in every day." It's like, dude, you're not freaking Beyonce. Like, like this, no one believes
Are you
that
homeless?
that
I'm saying,
I
live everywhere.
Yeah, I live everywhere, man.
I live right here.
I live in your car. Man, I'm kind of like Jesus. I'm all over. I'm like the Holy Spirit, bro. Like, and I was like, don't lie. Like, no one, that guy did not get off the phone being like, that guy lives everywhere. It's gonna be it's gonna be amazing.
What's this baller doing selling me apartments?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
he got off the phone and been like, that guy's a liar. I'm never calling him back again.
Yeah.
All right, man. So, okay. Name of the podcast is called Back in the Day.
Okay.
All right. Each season I talk to people about like stories from their past or whatever.
Sure.
I have like one thing that I like to focus on. This season I'm talking about dates or dating, right? Do you remember your first date?
Oh man. My first date ever, like my first date ever with anybody? Like
yeah,
ever?
First date ever. Do you remember?
Man, I don't know. I'm trying to think. I think my first date ever was like 10th grade, I want to say.
Okay.
God.
10th grade.
Yeah, and I went to the movies with this girl, and I think I remember I was such a nervous. I mean, I'm a dork right now, but I was definitely like in my head at that time, like had zero confidence. I was like, the whole time I was thinking, how did this girl even decide to do this with me? You know what I'm saying? Like what? This is gonna fall apart at any moment. You know what I'm saying? Like this, at any moment, this is gonna just end in fucking flames. And dude, I was so nervous. I was so in my own head, and she was kind of in her own head. We were kids, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and,
you're 15, 16 years
dude,
old.
I just didn't know how to act, bro. I didn't know how to do. So I was so quiet, and I was just thinking, like, cool guys are quiet. You know what I'm saying? Like be mysterious, you know? I was thinking, don't be myself, don't be this like kind of personality, just be kind of cool.
Sup?
Yeah, dude, I was totally throwing that shit on, and she's like, why are you acting weird? Like, we've been talking on the phone for like a long time, you know?
We talk for hours. Like,
yeah, we talk for hours about everything. When I get up, I'm like, what's up?
Yeah.
Being cool, it's a cool day, huh? Super cool outside. It's like, we're inside the fucking movie theater, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, but this whole thing ended just bad, bro. She ended up like wanting to leave early. Called her mom back home to pick her up, and I was just kind of like,
did y'all meet at the movies? Did you pick her up?
We met at the movies. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you another funny story that kind of correlates with something like this. So I met when it's in the same year actually. I get this other girl that I actually had a big crush on my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
Like, like when you're like in like middle school and you kind of have a crush on this chick, and then like high school you see her, and then like all over the place. Dude, she ends up sitting next to me in my history class, like right next to me. And that was the one class I was actually decent at, is history. And so the teacher's like, hey, you pair up in groups, whatever, for studying for this test. So she's like, hey, you seem pretty good at this class and kind of struggling. She's like, do you wanna come over to my house and like study? I was thinking like, I mean, you're like a B- in this class, not that bad. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? But like, I'm like a B+, but fuck it, you know what I'm saying? Like,
we'll get that average up, girl.
Yeah, right. And then so at the time, I was thinking like, well, there's no, in my mind, I was telling myself, there's no way this girl's actually into me. Like, this is just studying.
Yeah.
Right. So I get to her house, dude. Her parents are gone and stuff. I'm with my backpack and everything. And she's just like nothing out, and like no study materials out. She's like sitting in her room, And I'm like, hey, where are your parents at? She's like, oh, they had like a dinner thing. They're not back for a while. I'm like, that's cool. Do you want to go in the kitchen or something and we can start studying there? And she's like, no, it's kind of like right here in my room. It's pretty cool. I was like, all right.
Out, and you're not picking up on any of it?
Nothing, dude, nothing. So then I go, and she goes, she's like, so I pull up books out and I'm starting to go through the book and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, so we should probably just focus this chapter right here. And she's like, hey, I kind of have like a headache right now. Maybe we can just turn off the lights. Just make the lights kind of bother me. Turn off the lights. So then I was like, all right, do you have any Tylenol? You want me to get some Advil? Like, you know. So then I go to her kitchen, dude. I'm like looking through her fucking cabinets for Tylenol.
My grandma uses Excedrin. Like, you know, like just like
it's got caffeine in it. And then so, dude, I go and it's like I go and I find like some Advil or some shit.
What'd you eat today? Like breaking it down. Like,
you probably need some water. You're probably dehydrated. And then so I go and I get whatever. I get a little glass of water in her own house, bro. I get her a glass of water and some Advil, and she's just laying on the bed, and you can tell she's just like, "What the fuck?" And I'm thinking in my mind, dude, this girl's really sick.
Yeah,
you know.
I hope her parents come home early. Do you need to call them?
No, I actually called my dad, and I'm like, "Hey, you know what? I should probably just go home. It sounds like you're not doing too well. We'll just pick this up tomorrow in school." You know.
We'll talk about the French Revolution War tomorrow.
Yeah, it's totally cool. As a matter of fact, I'll just write your paper for you. I'll just give it to you tomorrow.
No big deal.
Yeah, no biggie, whatever. And then so, dude, I leave out of there, man, and I tell my dad this in my car, and my dad starts cracking up, dude. He's like, "Are you sure you're my son, dude?" You know? My dad. I do the stupid joke on stage about the rookie mistake, man. But that's one. My dad uses that shit all the time on me, and that's all I heard in the car ride home. He's like, "Rookie mistake. You're going to be a virgin forever."
Oh God, dude, that's awesome. Because that's like, guys, for the most part, there's a small percentage of dudes that can pick up on that, but most guys don't know how to pick up on any of that type of stuff.
Especially you're 15, like you don't know what the fuck you're doing.
No,
you know?
man. I remember there was this one girl that, like, looking back on it, I wanted to ask her to homecoming.
Yeah.
And she made probably about 15 hints about homecoming, and I never asked, because I never asked her out.
Yeah.
I remember telling the story. I don't remember what happened, but telling the story, someone later on, like 5 years later, like, that girl basically begged you to ask her to homecoming. And I was like, "Oh, really? She like, what? I really want to go with her.
You think she'll say yes right now? Like, I can call her right now.
We go to homecoming now. Like, we go, let's do it over again."
Yeah, dude. That's crazy, bro. That's so funny how you think about that shit later, man. You know? And it's looking back on it clearly. I mean, but it's funny because you're right, dude. Like, especially if you're, I think there's dudes that mature a lot faster. They just I have friends of mine that just were on it, bro.
Me too.
Just slaying, just
nonstop. And not even that good looking. Like,
and they were just kind of dicks too. I was surprised. Like, why are you so mean to her, man?
They're so mean to girls. Like,
I'm so super nice.
Yeah, I'm very nice.
Cupcakes.
You're consoling them when they were mean to them. Like,
dude.
"Why was you so mean to you? I'm so sorry."
Yeah,
like,
petting her hair.
Like, I brought the special brush. Like, like,
that was totally me, bro.
Yeah, me too. Really bad.
That was so bad, man. But I'm still kind of like that, which is weird, man. I'm like, I'm just, you know what it is, man. I feel like I've accepted the fact that I'm just a nice guy. Like, I'm not that super player fucking dude.
Not at all. Me neither. There was one time that when I wasn't even doing anything wrong. I was just talking to two girls at one time, and it was the most stressful thing in my life. Like, just like
they're gonna find out.
They didn't live anywhere near each other. Like, it was like they didn't go to the same school.
Yeah.
It was like I was like 22. It was like my last semester of college. One of them lived like 2 hours away. The other one didn't even lived 2 hours the opposite way. Like, there was a 4-hour buffer, and I was just stressed. I remember one time I was hanging out with one of them. This was like when texting was kind of a thing. Like, people were texting.
Like, people had the sidekicks?
I had a flip phone, so we were texting, but you also still made a lot of phone calls back then. I remember one time one of them called me when I was like hanging out with the other one, and I was just like, "This is so stressful." But we weren't like, there's no way I could have actually been a real player.
Yeah,
like,
dude.
I was just having conversations with two people at the same time, and I was about to throw up. Just like every day.
Yeah, dude.
So, okay, all right. So that's your first date. You have any stories, like awkward, like dating stories, like worst date you've ever been on?
I've
attempt, like you maybe hit on someone and like went terribly wrong.
Man, many times. I mean, so all those things, all those things. I'm Mr. Awkward, man. I'll tell you actually something that did happen when I first moved here. Actually, so when I first moved here, and before I got out with my girl, I was whatever I got on Tinder, I was kind of dating around, whatever. And I didn't even had Tinder before that, so I don't really know like what to all expect. And so I met this girl. She was a really pretty chick, whatever. And we went out one time, and dude, it's like every time we'd go out, she would just start crying, like bawling, crying, like loud, audible, like real heavy crying. And
about what?
Dude, it was just all kinds of other random shit that was going on, like her ex and this, and she's like, whatever. Like she was clearly emotionally.
Do you need some Advil?
Yeah, dude, I was instantly became that guy.
Yeah,
I'm like, you know,
where is he? I'll talk to him.
yeah, dude. It was so bad, and it was like, and ended up being kind of a weirdly where she was like kind of like calling me and texting me all the time, and literally every time she called me, she was just crying. So it was just like I became like her low key kind of therapist for a while, and I was like, okay, like this is fucking gotta stop, man. I can't keep doing this. But that was one that was definitely unpleasant.
And now you've been with your fiance. When do y'all get married?
We're gonna get married hopefully this year. We're looking at September this year.
Nice, dude.
So, yeah.
What's the best date you guys have been on recently? What's the best date you've ever had with her?
Oh man, dude, we've had a lot of really good dates. I would say we took a vacation to Cancun, which was awesome. We stayed at this really great resort. We just came back from Vegas this past weekend, man. And
oh, nice.
You know what's cool about when you're with the right girl, man? When you're with the right person, it's like just doing random shit is pretty cool. Like we have a great time. Like literally, it's no work. Every time we go somewhere, it's just easy, man. We just have a good time everywhere. So
that's what, like when my wife and I, when we were first dating, like the first, we were broke, so like our dates were nothing. Like it was go to the dollar movie, or hang out at her apartment. And it's like when you have the right person, like you just can kick it.
Yeah,
like,
dude, it's easy. It shouldn't take work.
No,
just be yourself.
Well, and honestly, like I remember, like one of my friends was dating this girl one time, and like. He's like, everything's going awesome, man. I was like, yeah, because every weekend y'all go to a concert or y'all do this amazing thing. Like, you could do that with some random person. You need to hang out. You need to see what it's like just hanging out at their house and eating takeout and watching TV. If that's fun, then that's the right person for you. If it's not, then probably not. Like we could go meet someone that we just met, and we could go to this badass concert and have a great time.
Yeah,
the concert is the fun thing. It's not.
I'll go to the concert with you, bro.
Yeah, like right now.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to ride dolphins? What? I'll do that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's amazing.
Yeah. Dude, it's fucking. Of course, it's gonna be fun. Who's not gonna have fun riding a dolphin? But it's like, but other shit is gonna be like. What do you think about most of your life right now? You're married, right? Do you have kids?
Yeah, 2 kids.
Okay, so think about it. You're married with 2 kids, bro. Realistically, like. You guys are spending most of your time just watching movies and TV or whatever shows and just talking shit on the show. Yeah. And so that has to be like a great experience because that's how relationships really mostly built around.
95% of your time is like just getting chores done.
Yeah.
Doing like you said, watching TV, making sure your kids are asleep. If you can't if that's not fun together, then you're gonna
have a tough time.
Yeah, it's only the 5% of the time as you get to do anything that's like crazy fun.
Yeah, dude. And I mean, and then when you do, it's cool because it's like it's fun for both of you because you're both trying to get out of the house and do some fun shit. So it's cool, man. I'm it's funny. I appreciate all the shit I've been through and all those crazy relationships and the different things because I feel like when you go through all that and you. Especially, again, you get to the right age, maybe different mindsets for different dudes, but I think it kind of prepared me to be in this relationship that I'm in now, to actually know how to, like, be in a relationship. You know, you had to fuck a bunch of them up to get to this point.
Mess up a ton.
Yeah.
Right, now you got someone that you actually want to hang out with.
Yeah, for sure, dude. It's a good thing, man. She's just, it's like I said, man, I extremely lucky. I say this all the time. I know it sounds fucking cheesy, and I genuinely feel like I won the lotto with her, man. Like it's just so randomly lucky.
That's awesome. I mean, that's what I used to tell. Like I was the first out of like my closest friends to get married, and I used to tell my friends like, "You guys got to get married. This is fun."
Yeah.
Like whatever. Like most people are like, "Oh, marriage." No, dude, it's fun if you're like with a person that you like hanging out with. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Especially, man, my family. It was almost everybody's divorced. Almost everybody. There's a few that are hanging in there, but a lot of my family is just tough, man. Especially, and my dad and my grandfather are both just pussy hounds, bro. They're just, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, and my uncles and everybody, man. So they were always just talking.
And then you're just over there getting
like monogamy for suckers. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then so.
Like, what do you mean, Dad? You make friendship bracelets with?
No,
like,
dude. My dad. My dad used to tell that story to my uncles and everybody. Like every time we get together, my grandfather would be like, "Hey, so you got her Advil, huh?"
Yeah, Papa gets some Advil for a different
20
reason.
Years ago, Dad. Fuck.
We're still on this.
Yeah, man. But it's like so, and it's my dad calls me Lovey Dovey now. He calls me Lovey Dovey because every time I'm with my girl, I'm like, I love her. And she's like, look at Lovey Dovey over here, huh? This guy still doesn't know.
Well, dude, this has been a lot of fun, man. Where can people find you?
Thanks, man. At Rafael Comedy on Instagram, on Facebook, Rafael Sanguily, Raf Comedy. On my website, if you want to find anything, it's rafaelsanguily.com.
Sweet. You got any big shows coming up?
Yeah, well,
this will come out in like 2 weeks. So what do you got coming up after that?
2 weeks. I don't know. Well, by then I would have already done my cool stuff. I would have done the South by Southwest. I'm doing this thing on Tulsa. I got a show actually April 8th at the Hyenas. I'm doing the Red Room with my buddy Panda. He's just one of my best friends out here. He's a really good dude. We're doing a whole show together. Jefferson Guevara's going to be on there. Maicia Chavez. You're in Maicia? Mm-mm. Dude, Maicia is an amazing comic. She's Puerto Rican. She does comedy in Spanish and English. She's
nice.
Really cool people, man. She's like one of my sisters, so she's really great. And we're doing this whole show together. It's going to be really fun. So if you guys want to get that show, just hit me up and I'll make sure you guys get tickets and stuff.
Sweet. Well, guys, make sure you check out Rafael. You can check me out on Instagram at Michael Pasvar or michaelpasvar.com to see show dates coming up. Dates that are coming up when this episode comes out. I'll be at Addison Improv March 30th. Sometime in April. Last week, April 22nd through that weekend of April 22nd, I'll be with John Stringer at Hyenas Comedy in Dallas. The following weekend, I'll be in Lubbock at Two Docs Brewery. The next day after that, I'll be in Abilene. There are people that listen to this podcast in Abilene and Lubbock, so you guys better show up.
For sure.
Make sure you guys subscribe and like the podcast. We'll see you guys next time. Bye now.